very caring,
very get it done.
Active listener,
a passionate advocate,
cute as a bug,
a healthy disregard for bureaucracy.
She's a machine.
If you've met her, you know her. She is what she is. When she worked with students, she would be willing and would engage in the hard conversations that sometimes need to happen about pathways and progress and what's needed to succeed on the endeavor that they've chosen. And she was really good at seeing when a student was at that point where, they're at this kind of change point.
So when I first met Deb, I found her very intimidating. I felt that I couldn't live up to her standards. I was very focused on my single mom life, and trying to fit a professional, career into that seemed really scary and maybe too hard. Like, how do I get kids to daycare and get to class and do these beforehand meetings and all these things that she expected of me? And that sort of evolved over time, and she became more of a mentor, more of a friend, family. It really was tough love with her, and I'm so thankful for it, honestly. Deb pushed me to work harder. She pushed me to be my very best, better than I knew was possible. She found ways for me to be able to be at the school, to be working more hours and working harder. She was there to lend a hand with my kids if they needed something. She was more than a school. She created an atmosphere. We were a family, and it wasn't just myself and Deb, it was all of the students. She just took us all in.
She was a force inside of the institution of UMA and just constantly, strongly advocate for the larger purpose and remind people of what our purpose was when, convenience or funding didn't allow us to get there. She would remind people, no, this is where we need to be going and this is the work to do.
It was shortly thereafter, 2003 perhaps, that Doris Buffett walked into her office with a box of chocolates and says, I want to start a prisoner education program in Warren. And the two of them sat down there together and ate the box of chocolates, and we now have the University College education program at the Maine State Prison in Warren. And it was Deb who did that, exclusively who did that.
Educating people who are incarcerated was a new idea. And there are some people that thought that was foolish, and there were other people that thought, no, there's some good reason for this.
Of the 150 men who have graduated from that program, the recidivism rate is 1 to 2%. Nationally, the recidivism rate, the return to prison, is 67%. That speaks volumes about what UMA and UROC has done and what Deb has done, because it is a national average that is the envy of most of the other prisons in the United States.
I think the most touching moments of that whole experience was when there were graduations and the parents of the residents would come. I mean, here we have the stigma of people who are in prison. And here they had gotten an education. They were proud of their education. They were proud of themselves. They were standing tall. And their family was there and was thrilled that they'd gotten so far. It was a very moving event, and Deb was very much a part of it and leading it. The next big project I worked with Deb on was Knox County Homeless Coalition. So we started that in '09. Now the Knox County Homeless Coalition helps hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, and that makes us a richer community.
I believe on the top of the list of ways in which she's made a difference are the students whose lives have changed because they had access to education here. I think her impact has been hundreds of students' lives who are better because they've been able to move forward here in the Mid-Coast.
I honestly don't think I would have gotten to where I am without Deb. I mean, I graduated with honors. I'm not sure I would have graduated at all without that constant little push. And what in the beginning seemed like scary was love. I mean, she wanted me to do better, and she knew I could, and she believed in me when I didn't, so that was really awesome.